Normanley Fishing is proud to be sporting these fine products: Bruiser Baits, Bass Addiction Gear, Flat Out Tungsten, Power Pole, Power Core Custom Rods, Blues Reels, Crawdad Custom Jigs, Bob's Machine Shop, and Cola Signs. Alright, what's up, guys? We got some good stuff coming up. In a couple days, we're leaving for Florida. I got my good buddy Colin Burnett, and his dad is going to be traveling with me, and we're going to be in Florida for about 8 days. We're going to be at Icast in Orlando as our first stop. We're going to be at Icast for a couple of days. We're going to be there Wednesday, actually we're leaving about midnight on Tuesday. So midnight Tuesday, I push down there sometime around noonish on Tuesday. But anyway, we'll be at the show Wednesday and Thursday. And right after the show Thursday, we're going to be leaving Orlando. We're heading down to Lake Placid. We're going to be doing a lot of filming once we get down to Lake Placid. We got 3 different lakes we're going to be hitting and filming on. Now Friday, we're going to be going down Headwaters. I'm not that familiar with Headwaters. I've been there a couple times. We actually filmed some of the TV show at Headwaters about a year ago. But that pretty much is the extent of my experience on it. I've been down there once. Actually, 1.5 times. We spent a half day down there, but I haven't spent a lot of time down there, but I kind of got a good idea. I mean, I think once we get down there, I think we're going to be throwing a lot of vibrating jigs, the Crawdad Vibradog, basically. Top water. Last time I was down there, I was catching them on the Zero Spook. Ow, that hurt. But anyway, catching myself. But the Zero Spook. We're definitely going to have the 6-inch Bruiser Bait 6-inch big sticks in the boat. From what I remember, there's a lot of submerged vegetation last time we were there. I'm sure it's still about the same. Bulrush, cattail, tussock type isolated structure for flipping the 6-inch big sticks. And the Bruiser Baits Super Swimmers as well. I wanted to try to throw a little bit of the Bruiser Cruiser. The Bruiser Cruiser is the new crankbait out by Bruiser Bait. I say new. It's been out for about a year, almost 2 years now, I guess. It's not new, but it's kind of new. Anyway, I was going to try to throw that a little bit. I think the water at Headwaters is a little bit too shallow. The Bruiser Cruiser runs anywhere, depending on the reel, depending on your line size, the speed you typically the Bruiser Cruiser is going to run anywhere from 6 to 9 feet, and I think Headwaters is a little shallow, a little grassy for that. So we're still going to probably be throwing some square bills, some crankbaits run a little bit shallower. But anyway, that's Headwaters. Also, the Big Nasty down at Headwaters, I like to try to throw with a little bit of nose weight and run it like a snake or an eel. Like you'd run a snake or an eel, just slow roll it right below the surface. But anyway, that's Headwaters. The next day, on Saturday, we're going to try to split it up. Now, I've been told that they're getting a lot of rain down there in the afternoon hours, so this is all pending on, how the afternoon is. But I like to split it up into 2 different lakes, and I'm not sure which one we're going to do first, but June or Placid. One of them we're going to do in the morning until about noontime, and then we're going to come off whatever one we hit first thing in the first, and we're going to do the other one, from noon till whenever we get tired, basically. The reason, we're doing both of them the same day. Now, the stuff we're going to have tied on for June and Placid is, of course, going to be different than we're going to have at Headwaters. So I'm trying to do it where we do Headwaters, and the way I have it worked right now is so I don't have to do a lot of changing when I'm down there. Is I got rods rigged up for June and Placid, and I got separate rods and reels rigged up for Headwaters, so I don't have to do a lot of changing. I use a lot of braided line, 65-pound Power Pro braid down at Headwaters. June and Placid's pretty much strictly monofilament coming off the reel. Typically, I mean, if I'm throwing a Carolina rig, it's going to be a fluorocarbon leader line. But totally different setup as far as the reels, the rods for June and Placid is you're going to have for headwaters. So I don't have to do a lot of retying each day. I got stuff set up just for June and Placid. I got stuff set up just for headwaters. So anyway, June and Placid, of course, you know, definitely going to have the big nasties going strong. It's going to be Carolina rigging a drop shot type of a day. I'm almost 100% positive. The bruiser bait, duh, big nasty. And if you haven't tried the big nasty yet, guys, if you fish South Florida a lot and you get out to June and Placid, you do a lot of Carolina rigging, guys, you are missing out if you don't have the big nasty tied on your Carolina. I don't care where you fish a Carolina rig, whether it's June or Placid, whether you fish a Carolina rig in the Everglades or Lake Kissimmee. If you fish a Carolina rig and you're trying to catch big bass, you need to throw the big nasty on your Carolina rig. That's all there is to it. But anyway, the big nasty, I'm also going to have with us the 10-inch curly tail by Bruiser Bait as well. That's another hot Carolina rig bait in them two lakes. And I'm also going to have the drop shot. Now, typically, I'm not going to go to the drop shot unless I absolutely have to. And I'm not wishing that I have to do it. Typically, you go to the drop shot when the bait's tough. And you gotta kind of put the big baits away and go with the smaller stuff. Typically summertime on those two lakes, so you usually don't have to resort to that. Typically them big fish out in that deep water, them shell beds, them brush piles, they're eating strong this time of the year. Out in that deeper water, so normally you don't have to go to the drop shot out there. But I'm going to have it with me just in case. If we do have to go to the drop shot, it's basically going to be the Bruiser Bait, drop shot worm, and the McMinnow. I tend to throw the McMinnow if I wanted to throw a lot smaller. It just depends on what I think they're eating, the size of the bait I think they're chewing on. Yeah, I mean the McMinnows, even though they're both small baits, the McMinnows a lot smaller than the Bruiser drop shot worm. So one of them two style baits anyway in the drop shot. But let's hope we don't have to go to the drop shot. We want to be able to catch them on the Carolina rig all day long, catch some of them big giants down there. But anyway, all right, that's Saturday. Sunday is going to be actually our last day of fishing, our last day of filming. We're actually going to be going down to the Everglades. I've only been there once, and we were down there. We filmed some for the TV show down there, but I've only been there once. Don't have a whole lot of experience down there. It's kind of funny too, because before I relocated with the wife up here to Tennessee a couple years ago, 52 years of my life I lived in Lake Placid in South Florida, and I have people ask me all the time, man, you live in South Florida and never went and fish all the time and never went down to the Everglades? I never have fished the Everglades before a year ago, which is kind of strange. I mean, when I look back at it, I'm like, I don't know why I never went down there before. I enjoyed myself so much when I went down there last year and caught so many Oscars, so many peacocks. I ended up catching on a zero spook. I ended up catching a largemouth, about 8 pounds. I mean, just had a blast down there, and I'm like, why didn't I ever do this before? But anyway, we're going to the Everglades. Now, the Everglades is a little bit different as well. You got headwaters, which is one style. Then you got June and Placid, which is completely out of the realm of what you're going to have at headwaters, as far as what you're going to be throwing, your setup. Now, even though Everglades, I'm probably going to still have the braided line on like we have at headwaters. It's going to... Now, here's the thing with the Everglades. Headwaters and Everglades, I am going to still be throwing your zero spook, both. I throw them both places. But as you can see here, that's actually what I'm doing right now. I pulled a bunch of baits off my wall that typically I don't throw these baits a lot. I got a lot of smaller topwater baits. I got quite a bit of Pop R style baits. Here's a popping image. You don't see the spitting image and popping image a lot. Let me tell you something, guys. If you have the spitting image and the popping image, when them things first came out, boy, them fish would annihilate the popping image and the spitting image. You don't see people throw them a lot anymore. They're still around. But popping image, just a lot of smaller top waters. The pop waters work really well down in the glades. But with that being said, with a smaller top water, all I threw last time I was down there was the super spook. And of course they have the 3 different species that we're probably going to be catching when we're down there is the Oscars. There's just a ton of Oscars. You know, if you don't know what an Oscar is, it's almost like it looks just like a panfish, I mean not looks, but about the same size ratio as like a big bluegill, a big crappie. I mean that same size. It doesn't look nowhere near like it though. But I was catching Oscars that big on actually this spook bigger than this. And them Oscars were, I mean, they were eating the spook. I mean, their mouths are only about that big, but they were crushing the spook. But I didn't have a lot of poppers or poppars when I went down there the last time. But you know, doing my research, I'm gonna have the poppers with me this time. From what I understand, they throw poppers and stuff like that a lot down there. But of course, peacocks. You know, the peacocks is what's synonymous down in the Everglades. So hopefully we'll be able to get on some big peacocks. We caught some peacocks last time. We didn't catch any giants. I think the biggest peacock I caught last time was probably about 16 inches, maybe. I didn't weigh it, but it's still a decent peacock. We caught a lot of a little bit smaller peacocks, but I'm hoping to get on some giants this time. I know what peacocks the Everglades has down there, and let me tell you, it has some giant peacocks down there. So we're hoping to get on a few giants down there as well, and of course largemouth bass. You know, that's a given down there. But anyway, that's about it for the Everglades. And after that, you know, we're basically haul tail back up to Tennessee. I got a couple guide trips coming up when I get back, and we're going to be doing some filming also up here. But anyway, guys, that's about a wrap for this video. Also, within the month to come after we get back up here, keep an eye out for there's going to be 3 separate videos. We're going to do a separate video for each lake. It's going to be a video in its own. So keep an eye for them videos coming out as well. Do me a big solid. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also give my boy Colin. He's going down with me. We're going to be filming together down there. We're taking the Bruiserbait Dream Machine, so we're taking the one boat. But we're both going to be filming for my YouTube channel as well as Colin's YouTube channel as well. So give him a shout out as well. Subscribe to his channel. His channel is CMB Bassin 1983. It's CMB Bassin 1983. It's Colin's channel. So give him a big solid as well, guys. That's about it. Tight lines. And if you're in Florida, if you're out on one of them lakes we're going to be down on, you see us out there, give us a holler. Swing by, say hi, and you might get your face on camera. Hey guys, until next time, tight lines, and we'll see everybody on the water.